Hey everybody, this is Justin with Sillage Scents. Today I've got a quick video for you about a fragrance I've just had in for about a week. So I've probably worn it twice as far as a full day wearing, so not necessarily a review, but a little beyond the first impression. I want to talk to you about a $20 clone of about a $200 fragrance. This is Just Jack Noir Endurance, and it is a clone of Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. And so this is one that I kind of had my eye on for a while. I had seen some reviews where there was real praise for this fragrance. I've seen some side-by-sides where people have said this is the exact same fragrance. Now, I do not own the Tom Ford. I've tested the Tom Ford, but without being able to do a side-by-side, I'm just going by memory here. But what I'll tell you about this one, again, Just Jack, it's a $20 clone. The Just Jack house does a bunch of Tom Ford dupes. And this one, Noir Endurance, the 100 ml, you can get on various websites between $20 and $25. And let me tell you a little bit about my experience with it. The first time I sprayed it on, it was at the end of a long day. I had tested a couple fragrances already, stronger winter fragrances. And so I sprayed it on and I thought, man, I can't hardly smell this. I thought, why are people praising this? I can hardly smell it. So I kind of went on about my night. And about a half hour or an hour later, I started to notice all of these fragrances that were kind of swirling around me. And I was beginning to pick up on this. So, of course, the next morning I take a shower and I wear this as my scent of the day. And it really blew me away. What happened the day before where I barely noticed it, and then a half hour, an hour later, it really started to come alive. That has been my experience with this one. Of course, if you're not already wearing something, then it's not going to be as dramatic. But as this fragrance sits on your skin for the first hour or so, it starts to develop and kind of bloom. And what you end up with is you are walking around in this very textured, spicy, ambery vanilla fragrance. And it is awesome. It's also a little powdery. So I want to talk about a few of the notes and just give you my overall thoughts, my overall impression. I can tell you this is a pretty strong fragrance. I don't know lengthwise how long it will go, but I can tell you it's definitely at least a 6 or 7 hour fragrance. It could be a 10 or 12 hour. I just haven't worn it that long yet without washing it off. So it's very hard to find the actual notes of the Just Jack. There's some obviously wrong stuff on the internet. And so I'll tell you what the notes are from the Tom Ford that I can pick up in this one. So in the opening, you've got cardamom, nutmeg, saffron, mandarin orange, and neroli. You can definitely pick out the saffron, the cardamom, the nutmeg, and when you first spray it on, you get the mandarin as well, but I would say for like 5 minutes, you get a little bit of that orangey thing going on, and then you start to get the cardamom, the nutmeg, the saffron. I don't know about the neroli. I don't know if I picked that up at all in here, but definitely those spices, the cardamom and the nutmeg, I wish I could just had language to describe. There is this, three-dimensional texture to it. It's like, it's like you're being engulfed in some sort of like a fuzzy blanket of these spices. Saffron can kind of have that effect anyway, this sort of a, fuzzy kind of texture. I know that's strange. And then, of course, the cardamom is a sweet spice that you're going to get, as well as nutmeg. And then in the mid, you've got kulfi, which is, I think, a Middle Eastern dessert. It's a gourmand dessert fragrance, and this is a gourmand fragrance. So this does smell like something maybe that would be baked into a cake, or maybe like some kind of like a spiced, Thanksgiving pie or something like that. It's got some sweet, spicy kind of edible gourmand notes, although I've never had kulfi before. Apparently that gourmand facet, that's what you're getting, is this kulfi note that they're trying to reproduce, or the kulfi fragrance. Then you've got rose, mastic, and lentisk, orange blossom, and jasmine. I don't know that I don't even know what mastic or lentisk is, but you definitely get the rose. You absolutely get something floral that is in the base, and it's sort of floral powdery. I don't know if like Dusty Rose or powder, that sounds like Dusty Rhodes, a wrestler from whenever I was a kid, but we'll move on and not talk about how old I am. But sort of a dusty, powdery rose, but I think the dustiness may actually be the vanilla that is in the base, but you do get that rose. So if you can imagine, we're talking about something fairly complex here, because you've got sweet spices that are sort of moving around. You've got some real texture, and then you've got this edible gourmand sweet facet, and then you've got rose. You've got something floral mixing with it. It doesn't smell feminine, but it does smell mature. I don't see an 18-year-old guy loving this, but I think, somebody maybe in their late 20s or older could probably really dig this fragrance. And then orange blossom and jasmine, maybe that's part of the floral thing that I'm getting. But rose makes sense. I think rose is definitely something you could pick out, but orange blossom and jasmine could also be part of that floral accord that I'm getting. Then in the base, you've got vanilla, amber, woody notes, and sandalwood. You do get an ambery vanilla sweetness, a sort of dusty vanilla, ambery kind of golden sweetness, and a little bit of sandalwood. I think that the woodsy notes and the sandalwood are definitely more towards a couple hours into the fragrance. You first just get sort of that spicy, sweet, very lightly floral fragrance that engulfs you for several hours, and then as it begins to dry down, if you put your nose up to it, you can definitely get the woodsy quality as well. So my overall thoughts on this, a couple things. One, I think it's very interesting that it develops so much as a $20 fragrance, and I don't know that it's a dramatic change as much as it starts off so subtle, and then it just kind of comes to life and kind of blooms over the first hour or two that you're wearing it. It is definitely, it's definitely something that's got some power. I was at a get-together last night, and I wasn't in the door for 5 minutes before someone complimented me, and then someone else who was standing by complimented me as well. I don't pay that much attention to that, but I know that that is something that people, watch for, and it's mentioned a lot in reviews, so I try to mention it whenever it happens. And so it's definitely something that is very appealing. This would be a great date night fragrance. I mean, I wear just about anything to work unless it's too crazy overpowering. I think you could wear it in the office, just don't go crazy on the sprays. 4 or 5 sprays, and you have got a serious scent bubble around you. You've got a sillage trail dragging behind you, and at least, 7 hours or so, maybe longer than that. I just haven't tested beyond that. But man, this is a great deal. I am so blown away by the new clones that are coming out. And so this one, Just Jack, again, you've got Just Jack Noir Endurance, I should say, and you've got a spicy, gourmand, vanilla, ambery, slightly floral fragrance with good performance that is very similar to the Tom Ford Noir Extreme that it's trying to replicate. So thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got a couple videos a week that are coming out. Let me know in the comments, have you tried this one? Have you ever compared it side by side with the Tom Ford? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And have you tried any of the other Just Jack Tom Ford clones? Because I have seen some really good things about them. All right, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.